Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers make key Bronny James roster decision amid upcoming road trip. The Los Angeles Lakers will embark on a 4-game road trip that carries them through the end of March, but they will do so without a recent standout on their roster. Bronny James will not be on the Lakers' active roster for the trip as the team made the decision to assign him to South Bay in the G League. South Bay has 2 regular season home games remaining on their schedule on Monday and Tuesday. They are currently 13-17 and in 10th place in the standings, and set to miss out on the playoffs. That means these upcoming South Bay home games will be the final time fans will get to see Bronny James in G League action. Bronny James has been part of the Lakers' active roster, and he recently had a career night during the team's loss to the Milwaukee Bucks this past week. With the Bucks game being the second night of a back-to-back, the Lakers opted to sit most of their main rotation. That allowed James to play key minutes off the bench, finishing with a career-high 17 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists and 1 blocked shot in 30 minutes of play. He shot 7 of 10 from the field and 2 of 4 from the three-point line. Following the game, James spoke about how his confidence has grown since the beginning of the season. "I've gained my confidence and getting my comfortability over just reps and getting out there and taking advantage of my opportunity if it was given," James said. "Just being ready at all times. I think that's the biggest thing for me is the stay ready games, practices, and stuff like that. Taking advantage like I did tonight." James has played in a total of 9 games for South Bay during the G League regular season portion of the schedule. He was averaging 20.6 points, 5.0 rebounds, 5.0 assists and 1.7 steals with splits of 43.1% shooting from the field, 36.1% shooting from the three-point line and 80% shooting from the free throw line. As far as his NBA career, James has suited up in 23 games for the Lakers, playing a little over 5 minutes per game. His playing time has largely been reserved for when the game has already been decided. But there have been times when he's been called upon for meaningful minutes when players have been out of the lineup. From the minute James arrived at Lakers training camp until the present, he's simply strived to learn and put in as much work as he can to get better. "Just going in and working as hard as I can, that's all I can do, just learn. Be open-minded every day," James said. "Coming to work in the morning and being that same level-headed kid just trying to get his work done. But also taking advantage of those reps that I get, and staying level-headed." David Yapkowitz is a basketball journalist for Clutch Points, writing news on the NBA, WNBA, and NCAA basketball for both men and women. The Los Angeles native has bylines with Basketball Insiders, SB Nation, and The Next Hoops. How the Bulls forced the Lakers into their worst defensive performance of the season. The Lakers received some positive news after a brutal 6-game stretch in 8 days on Saturday as Rui Hachimura and LeBron James returned to the team's lineup after long absences. That was about all the positive news they would get on Saturday. Luka Doncic was nothing short of brilliant to start. He scored 29 points in the first half, connecting on 7 of his 10 threes. However, the Lakers' defense, or lack thereof, spoiled it. Since the new year, the Lakers have sported the 6th-ranked defense in the league. At its best, this team plays an active, helping style to keep defenses guessing. At its worst, it is a disconnected group with severe size disadvantages. That was the worst our defenses has looked, frankly, maybe all year, but certainly in the last 3 months, head coach J. Redick said following the 146-115 loss. Chicago started 6 feet 10 inches Nikola Vucevic at center, a highly skilled offensive big man who provides a 5-out look for a team filled with quick and clever ball handlers. Watch below as he scores the Bulls' first basket on a routine kickback from Josh Giddey. Jackson Hayes instinctually runs into the paint to offer support, leaving Vucevic open from the top of the arc. It seems like an innocent score, but this shot and the threat it causes help neutralize where help can come from. The Lakers prefer to play an aggressive style of constant help and recover defense while keeping someone at the basket. An extra shooting threat from the center position makes that much more difficult. The promising rookie Matisse Buzelis, who dropped a career-high 31 points, took advantage a few plays later. Watch below as he quickly drives by Doncic and gets a monstrous flush as all four other Lakers spectate. Hayes refuses to commit, fearing Vucevic's outside threat. With that being said, Doncic can't give up the baseline this easy, and even if Hayes does not have help responsibility, someone should. Poor effort and poor execution is the recipe to giving up 146 points on your home floor. With James and Hachimura returning, Redick returned to small ball in the non-Hayes minutes and Lakers two-way center Christian Koloko was removed from the rotation. These units are where the Bulls extended their lead. Chicago moved Vucevic from largely being a spacer to a post-up hub of the offense to take advantage of the size mismatch. Watch below as he comes to set the screen and slips it, a counter against switching defenses. Vucevic gets behind Hachimura and gets 2 taps at the basket, basically playing volleyball while the Lakers watch. After collapsing the defense, he finds Colby White for 3 of his game-leading 36 points. This pushed the lead into double figures, and the Lakers never threatened again. James and Hachimura understandably were less active and bouncy on their first games back, necessary traits for this defensive style. Even so, the Lakers need to find ways to counter these size issues that will definitely arise again in the future. Finally, the Lakers got mauled in transition. A young, struggling team figured out the Lakers wanted no part of joining a track meet. A lot of these plays were self-induced with mindless passing decisions. Bad offense leads to bad defense. I think they scored a lot of transition points, Doncic said. Especially off my turnovers. I got to do that better. I can't be losing the ball 7 times. That's way too many for me. Watch on the play below as Doncic attempts to thread this into traffic, leading to easy transition points the other way. These turnovers will happen throughout a game. What can't happen is Giddey getting an unimpeded follow-up tip in after beginning his run from the opposite restricted area. The Bulls dominated all facets of this game, including 30-12 in transition points, and a whopping 74 points scored in the paint in what was just a porous defensive outing from the entire team. The team begins a 4-game trip starting Monday in Orlando and will need a much better defensive output if they want to keep their push up the standings. Magic Johnson puts Lakers on blast for poor defensive performance with playoffs creeping upon Sunday. Los Angeles Lakers legend Magic Johnson called out the team for a poor defensive effort in Saturday night's loss to the Chicago Bulls. The Lakers allowed 146 points in a 31-point defeat to Chicago as they dropped their second game in a row. Los Angeles has now won just 3 of its last 9 games and holds the number 4 seed in the Western Conference after being as high as number 2 earlier this month. Despite the recent slide, the Lakers are in a better position than they were in the previous 2 seasons under Darvin Ham, as they ended up in the play-in tournament in both of those campaigns. This season, the Lakers seem poised to land a top 6 seed and potentially even a top 4 seed if they close things out strong. LeBron James returned to the lineup for the Lakers on Saturday, but his presence didn't lead to a win. James finished with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals and 5 turnovers while shooting 7-for-16 from the field. He was one of 4 Lakers in double figures against Chicago, as Jackson Hayes, 10 points, Austin Reeves, 25 points, and Luka Doncic, 34 points, were the Lakers' other leading scorers. All 5 starters for Chicago scored 10 or more points, and 7 Bulls players overall reached double figures in Saturday's contest. The Bulls were led by Colby White, as he finished with 36 points on 12 of 17 shooting, 6-for-9 from 3. Matisse Buzelis also had a big game for Chicago, as he dropped 31 points on 12 of 18 shooting and poured in 5 shots from beyond the arc. Saturday's loss was a bit of a concerning showing from the Lakers, as Chicago is just the number 9 seed in the Eastern Conference and facing an uphill battle to make the final playoff field this season. Hopefully, it will serve as a wake-up call for LA. While Johnson clearly wasn't happy with the Lakers' defensive effort in the loss, Los Angeles is still number 13 in the NBA in defensive rating this season. James, Doncic and the Lakers will look to get back in the win column on Monday night against the Orlando Magic. Orlando is currently fighting for play-in positioning in the Eastern Conference and has won just 4 of its last 12 games. Are you a fan? What do you think of Magic Johnson's statement? Leave your opinion in the comments.